All right, we are here with Palaye Royale. How you guys doing?
Doing
Doing
great.
great, can't complain.
Right on. That's awesome. So I just saw that No Love in LA hit over 3 million streams today on Spotify. Awesome. Great job,
I didn't
guys.
even realize that, so that's exciting.
Yeah, yeah. How does that feel?
It's good. Yeah, no, it's good to see the reaction towards the song that it was one of those things. It was one of the first songs that we did in the writing sessions for this album, and we were in Malibu writing it, and I sent over a voice memo to Remington, and he literally sent over like half of the first chorus already done and like a voice memo, and it was like, all right, cool, this is sick, and then kind of just gave a real good description of how we feel about LA. So.
That's super awesome. So a lot of your music videos, they're like super unique. I'm talking whenever I started listening to No Love in LA, like it became a rabbit hole, guys. I was just watching them all and I kept getting into it. Fantastic stuff. What's the inspiration behind them?
I think the music videos for us, it's always been the only way, especially recently, has been the only way to show performance because, shows haven't been much of a thing recently. So it's been kind of, if the audience can see us performing and seeing some bit of a story that they can get grasp into versus us just putting together a video, it's kind of our only platform to show what we feel the song should be interpreted as a
Yeah,
visual.
we definitely want to, we always love taking stuff a little bit further, especially in music videos, instead of just a performance shot, because obviously we're such a heavy touring band. So we would like the videos to kind of like tell a story. We're obviously so involved in cinema side. Emerson's already created a short film. And we are big fans of like Tim Burton, obviously, and like Christopher Nolan and a lot of like big directors. So we try to incorporate like these crazy, almost like small movies as like these music videos.
Yeah, they are so great, and I think they definitely keep our attention because, like I said, that rabbit hole, man, it was like midnight, and I just was spiraling. It was great. Um, so you guys just recently performed an acoustic set under your billboard in LA, which that was so fun. I was checking out your videos. First, how did that feel being back and performing for your fans? And second, did you guys actually get a ticket from the LAPD?
We did.
We
We
did.
we were gonna get 2 tickets. We only got one, which was good. It was actually cheaper to get the ticket than it was to actually get the permit. So it worked out. We were just
Yeah.
originally when we do this on tour, especially when we get shut down at venues, it's usually because the shows are a little bit crazy. And so we always will end up going out on the street and just performing on the street for the fans. They come all that way to see a show, and if it gets cut short or that we can't even open the doors, we still do that. But it was kind of just like, all right, we have a billboard. It's a perfect backdrop for us to do this. And just to see the response and see how many people did show up. It was, both sides of the streets were completely full. It was, people are in the streets. There was, it was funny. It was like one of our friends was even coming down the street trying to get to the show, and they're like on the lift and Uber. They were giving like a citizens report that there was a like gathering of hundreds of people and cop rioting and stuff. And then I was like, oh, that was us. So
Yeah,
it was great. We played, we were able to play 4 songs, and Emerson had kind of the whole attitude whenever the cops were like, all right, you're cut off. They ripped out our cables. They're like, you're done. And Emerson's like, all right, let's go. And then the fans just obviously know all the lyrics, so they just start singing. So you can't really stop, a group with a couple
yeah.
hundred kids, performing and singing. So
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting concept. Sebastian kind of came to me and Emerson like a few days prior and was just like, hey, you guys want to just do like a free acoustic set? I was like, yeah. And then we really expected like 15, maybe 20 people to show up, and fuck, were we wrong.
Yeah, yeah, you guys were, that was loaded and that was awesome. And that actually leads me, into the next question. So I see that your fans are referred to as soldiers of the Royal Council. Can you tell me how that came about?
So the soldiers of the Royal Council, like each letter is actually our mom's initials. So
Really?
yeah,
yeah,
Palaye Royale was an old dance hall in Toronto where our grandparents met. So it's, us being brothers and everything, it's, like keep it to the family. And
we're kind of like the Kardashians in that way. We like to keep them in the family.
Right on. I love that. So what bands or artists have been big inspirations for you, especially with like the new little era that you're bringing about? Like, has things changed from how you used to be, writing music, or is it kind of the same? What are you feeling?
The roots of the whole band was always a start in the 60s and 70s kind of rock. The Stones, the Faces, the Kings, all that. It was so many inspirations came through that music, but I think like even the Velvet Underground with like the cinema and stuff was just seeing how Emerson does a lot of artwork, and having Andy Warhol was such a huge collaborator in how they delivered what the music was, and it was on a more of a visual aspect. But then moving forward, we've all have our different kind of outlets. I love Britpop and anything from like new modern stuff of Arctic Monkeys and the Strokes and that.
I was going to introduce you though is mostly listening to Radiohead.
Yeah, a lot of Radiohead. This record was inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of goes all over the place.
The biggest thing for this album that's been a lot different than all the other ones, which has been something that's been so true to who we are as musicians, is piano. And probably 80% of the whole record is so much piano bass in it, and like piano or keyboards like Mellotron and all that stuff. So we were adding all these elements because it was just the three of us and our producer in the studio creating the music, and it wasn't a huge ensemble of humans being in a room together. It was just us during quarantine just making music. And so it was like a song like Punching Bag that just came out. I was playing piano, Remington was playing piano, Emerson was playing piano. So it's all different parts of it, of all their different approach to how we play piano. So that was definitely the staple of the album. And I think it's just a little bit different of a touch for a rock band. I feel like Arcade Fire is such a huge influence on this music as well. In a weird way, you can't really hear it too detailed, but how they layer different instrument, So that was it.
Yeah. That's very cool. I could definitely get that vibe from you guys for a lot of the bands that you mentioned, especially with your style. You guys you dress very distinctively, and I love that. I think that's so unique for you guys. And plus, I can only imagine how your performance is going to be. I know you guys are in town in January here in Pittsburgh at the Roxy Theater. Super stoked about that. Cannot wait to see you guys live.
We cannot wait to be back out. We're little show ponies. We miss it.
Yeah, that's very awesome. Yeah, you're going to be touring with Bad Flower, right? That's your next tour?
So in the States, we're bringing out our friend Dwayne and Mothika in the States for January. And then in February through April, we're bringing Bad Flower in Europe. Yeah. And then, just never stop touring.
Yeah, well, once like the floodgates open where people are like, all right, go for it, then we're never coming off the road.
I love that. That is such the right attitude to have for sure. You also mentioned Andy Warhol. Did you guys, have you ever gone to the Andy Warhol Museum here in Pittsburgh?
I have not.
I haven't had a chance, no.
No, but that is definitely what we're going to be doing when we come in January, for sure.
I'll tell you what, if you guys want to link up, do a little bit of a radio station and you guys, tour there, I'm totally all about it.
That's probably the perfect way of putting this band in any way of interview. Put us through a museum of Andy Warhol.
Pencil us in. We're down.
Nice. I love it. All about it. And it's only going to be about maybe 15 minutes from your venue. So you guys are literally set. It's going to be fantastic.
Perfect. Anything Warhol, we're in.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like 3 or 4 different floors of museum. And it is seriously one of my favorite museums in Pittsburgh. It's awesome, guys.
Wow. Yeah, we're excited. And then I got to go get like the Permanente brothers. Yeah, that's always like a staple whenever we're in Pittsburgh. It's like, that's one place we have to go. So
yeah, that is, man. I keep seeing on Twitter, that's like a big thing right now too, where everybody is asking celebrities like, hey, you try our Permanente brothers sandwiches? How you feel about it?
Honestly, the coleslaw, French fries, I'm in.
Yeah, it's a unique thing for sure. I mean, us Pittsburghers, let's just say we're not the thinnest people. So, so also speaking of food, I see that you guys are big Nutella fans.
Yeah, I'll take credit for that one.
Yeah. So I see that, fans really like to send you guys that. And there was a point in time where you were literally getting like boxes of Nutella sent to you. Now, are you guys more of a like dip things in it or eat it straight out of the jar kind of people?
At this point, it's actually been a while since I've had Nutella, just because I feel like I've just overloaded on it so much. Where at one point, I think we had must have been like over 200 boxes just in the trailer, just
Wow.
of Nutella. So I kind of Nutellaed myself out for a little bit, but usually it's just like on a nice crepe, we're good.
Yeah, that's good stuff for sure. So, I was browsing through your YouTube yesterday, and I also saw that you guys have Royal Television up there, and you are on your 4th season currently. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Like, what's the project idea behind that?
I think there was people, it's with music videos, it's always over the top. And when we did Royal Television, it was one of those things we just wanted to show actually the debauchery and everything that goes along with touring. And we're pretty good about filming everything. And, there's moments that we were actually not the best with not censoring what we were putting out there. So we were just showing everything.
Yeah, we almost put out too much.
Yeah.
And I wish we could kind of go back and censor a lot of it, but fuck it, that's us.
But I think that's what the our fans have seen, and I think that's where there's this thing that they know so much about us because we gave so much. But it's this, it's this trust that they've seen with us, and they see how. I think that's the one thing we wanted to. We dress really nice when we're out on the road, when we're at home, wherever we are, and to see a bunch of guys wearing suits and scarves and makeup, like lifting all the gear, moving all the stuff at the beginning of our career, and showing we're like a 1 of 5 when we started. And you never get to see that story in the arc of a band. And obviously we always knew where we wanted to head. Now that we're heading there, it's a beautiful thing where you go from playing clubs with 20 people in there, and so now we're doing 3,000-4,000 caps around the world. And it's just a really cool, you get it's it's like watching your favorite television show unravel and seeing it's
a
demise and also the growth.
Almost.
Yeah,
it's definitely there's been so many ups and downs with our band, but obviously like we love every second of it.
Yeah, I was enjoying watching it because, like you were saying, it's fun getting that behind the scenes footage. I mean, we love that because, we're seeing you guys on tour, but we're not there behind, like while you're setting up, unless of course you're working in a venue, but it was really enjoyable watching. And I saw you guys tease a little new song coming up, maybe.
No, yes. There's the next song we have coming out. I don't know if we can even say it, but it doesn't even matter anymore, right?
Fuck it.
Yeah, it's this song called Paranoid. It's the next song that's coming out, and that will be at the end of the month.
And you heard it here first.
I was just about to say, you hear it first right here.
Yeah. And then we're putting out an acoustic version of No Love like in a week, and then we got the big one. And we got the one
that defines this band as it's the greatest thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a 5.5 minute opus track of insanity, but it's kind of just puts together the best of Palaye Royale in one song.
So, God, I'm smiling just talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got me smiling too. I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait, especially because then we have a little show every night. It's called Edge of the X. That's where we featured you guys first. It's where we feature, the newest of new in rock and alternative music. And so, as soon as you guys got that, send it on over to us.
Oh, absolutely.
I love to hear that.
Yeah, I love the support on that.
No, I love you guys. I love our connection that we're getting going. And I'm really hoping that we can really get you, everybody here in Pittsburgh, check these guys out. They are freaking awesome. Like so awesome. So now another question, whenever you guys, are playing live, whenever that day does come again, now that things are finally, back to normal, do you like playing your older tracks live, or do you get more excitement out of playing like your new tracks for the first time live at a show?
I feel like our show is just kind of like the greatest hits. It's weirdly like we love playing all of our favorites from side A, side B, Bastards, and this upcoming record. And it does suck because we're rehearsing right now and we're up to like 20 songs. I'm like, guys, we gotta cut this down just like a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's hard to choose.
A tour that's like fully committed to an album, but I think up until then we kind of just do like creme de la palette.
Nice.
It's definitely a beautiful thing though that the fans that I feel like our audience, someone said this perfectly. They're like, you either like are not into Palaye or you're the biggest fan of Palaye. So it's like this nice split. And because then the fans know all the music, they just don't hear the one song. They're like, I came to the show for the one song. It's the crowd response of being able to hear a crowd sing every single lyric of every single song from every single era, and also go insanity. Like the whole audience is just madness. It's not like this. They're respectful, but it's crazy. You know, it's crowd surfing, mosh pitting. It's Pete Remington jumping off of the second stories of the balconies. Like it's a really
it's an experience
show,
to say the least.
Yeah. I was reading some reviews of like your guys' shows, you know, at that Warped Tour and everything like that. And I hear you guys are intense and full of energy and deliver a hell of a show. So I cannot wait till January for sure.
Yeah. We're definitely looking forward to it. Our next real show back is in exactly a month. We're playing at the Wiltern in Los Angeles, and it's almost sold out. And it's just kind of crazy that we haven't played a gig in almost 2 years, and it's gonna be one to remember. So it's gonna be a fun one.
Oh, it is definitely. So I just have one last question for you guys. And so here in Pittsburgh and through 105.9 The X, we are huge on supporting local music. Like we during that Edge of the X hour that I was telling you guys about, we also throw in some local bands in there. Do you have any advice for up and coming artists and musicians?
I
just keep going, honestly, because like, you know, we did, I think
700 plus gigs.
We played every bar that we could, and you know, we've gotten bottles thrown at us. You know, we did the death dance pretty much. And you know what, honestly, it was like some of the happiest times was in our mom's car playing to 2 people, someone telling us to go, you know, fuck ourselves every night. But honestly, it was just like the fact that you're out there, you're making $5, but you get pizza and beer every night, and honestly, you just go on stage with a smile on your face because you know what, you're doing it. So just keep going.
Yeah, and I think if anything is create the music that you're happy with and not be chasing something that's happening, because we've never chased what's a relevant sound. We've just done it.
Yeah, we've never tried to chase a fad before.
It's the most rewarding thing because you're at least happy with what you're creating. And if it's something that you enjoy of a creation and then you get a few people liking it, that's the start of being able to have a lot of people supporting it. And it's just, you know, realizing also that your audience is the only reason why you are where you are. And it's, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, people think there's a jump start to it. And yes, there are in some senses. But, you know, for a band like us, and I know for many other bands that a lot of people look up to, it's get out there, work incredibly hard, make great art that you're happy with. And then you don't know how long the timeline will be, but just stay.
This is the most obvious piece of advice. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I think that's some great advice for sure. I know a lot of the bands that are in the scene in Pittsburgh are going to be watching this and thinking, you know, wow, we want to be like you guys one day. So we're going to definitely listen to that advice. Well, thank you guys again so much for joining us. Do you have anything else to add that you'd like to say?
We can't wait to come to Pittsburgh. We're so excited.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are super excited. They will be here in January at the Roxy Theater. Well, thank you guys again. Palaye Royale hanging out with us on the X today. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for your support. We love Pittsburgh. Thank you.